Hello, I'm T on the TamBoTC channel, and today we're going to talk about my adventures with Superman, the anime, the Superman anime. Quickly, I want to say that there will be spoilers here and there, but yeah, it shouldn't be too many. But just know that I do want to talk about some spoilers. So, for example, I think that Superman and Clark together, not Superman, what the frick am I saying? Superman and Lois, or Superman, Clark, and Lois together. She finds out who he is pretty quickly and through a interesting way. I thought they were going to hide his identity for a while, but she finds out quickly. And they're a cute couple. I love the animation. It's very clean. I love the battles, the action. It's very colorful, vibrant. I love some of the designs, like Deathstroke and Parasite are really cool. He turns into a freaking kaiju later, which is awesome. And Mr. Mitzel is pretty cool. And where they multiverses of Lois's, and even discover some Clarks along the way that were evil. And like this hologram thingy they pick up, this orb that they pick up that shows footage of guns and such. And Superman's like trying to figure out who he is, though that plotline has been recycled, just like another. His father is the main antagonist, and they pull that whole Spider-Man Homecoming / Amazing Spider-Man antagonist row thing again. They still do it pretty well. It's just, and it does make sense that they would borrow from Spider-Man, as Spider-Man and Raimi's has borrowed heavily from. So it does kind of make sense, in a way. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with the show. The Mislick is definitely my favorite frickin' episode. I loved his design, his whole wanting to get his hat to bring his powers back. And it was a clever way they beat him too. But yeah, not all episodes, as well as characters, were that strong. I thought the characters mostly worked really well off of one another. I did feel like the petty episode of like Jimmy Olsen getting mad at them, and then characters I don't really care for, Brain and Moolah, just kind of boring to me. Not favorite villains of mine. And just Jimmy Olsen's whole like, it felt really cringe, his whole like being a conspiracy nut. A little too close to home too, because I had a freaking weird ass uncle that believed in flat earth and all that crap, and it's just really, he always created really awkward and weird scenarios for me and my grandmother. Freaking hated. And would shove his freaking beliefs about the earth down and try and shove it down our throat. He would never be like a really like rude person in the way that my other uncle would be, but he was still very just out of touch. The only joke he gets is that one from that animated Sinbad where the guys are doing a bet. See, I told you the earth is flat. Pay up. That's the one earth is flat thing that's actually funny. Other than that, it's like, well, there's probably other things too. I do like, I think in Eric the Viking, they play around with something like that too. But yeah, it's just, so when it comes to, what do I replace? I'm gonna replace this. When it comes to that, the whole Jimmy Olsen and then him finding out that his rival also works at the Daily Planet, it's just kind of it felt like cringy YouTuber / streamer thing, where it's like it's almost like 90s Disney trying to be hip and cool with the kids with some of the shows they made back that day, where they were like, oh, this is what the kids like nowadays, and they saw like YouTube videos or whatever. They're like, hey, let's make something on this, and it just feels like a back and forth like cringe fest. Yeah, it just was not very good. But hopefully, I'm not the sniper guy, so I'm getting rid of that. Sorry. I just don't want around in my freaking inventory. Alright, there's a chest in here. Really? Another one? At least this one is a... Okay, I'll take this one, why not? But yeah, freaking... Other than that, which is probably my least favorite episode, just because of how much Arkin's on Jimmy and such. Not Jimmy here, Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy here was there, then he would be Jimmy there. Also, it would probably be a more fun episode. But it was just not. It was freaking boring to me, and I didn't really care for the characters there, especially since I personally just don't. Like, I've told my friends I'm not a big monkey fan. Sorry, Jimmy. I don't hate monkeys, but I don't know. Just like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's almost like an uncanny value thing, kind of like how people have the fear of clowns and their freaking makeup. It's kind of a similar thing with me and monkeys. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I fear them necessarily, just that, like, something about them, like, I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. But I'm just not a big fan. Though I love Planet of the Apes. Freaking love Planet of the Apes somehow. They make monkeys work. But like for some reason, and like I think it's just that like their characters are probably just really boring to me, I guess. Otherwise, I have no other explanation than that. Yeah. Also, they couldn't like I don't know, like I guess they made Mala, whatever the frick he pronounce his name. I guess they made them a couple, which is not a bad thing, but being that it's a sentient ape and it's kind of crossing the boundaries of bestiality, and there is a line, there's a law. And I know it's animated in fiction, but even fiction can go too far. It has proven to in the past, so you gotta be careful with that stuff, and it is kind of cringe and weird. I don't know how to explain that either. That is not something I want to talk about. But yeah, I apparently found out that there are also, when it comes to the law of bestiality, there are 4 states that do not have that law. I'm going to quickly get my Hammer of Dawn and blast those states. But yeah. But anyways, it was just a weird episode, and it had a lot of like all else with that. You got the brain or whatever the frick he's called, which used to be a human brain. So it's still technically human, just in a robot body, and the only part of them existing now is their brain. Still freaking human though, or technically a robot. It just felt kind of fan fiction-y. It was weird and cringe as well. Probably the worst episode was that one, and then the best episode is Mr. Missile Spitalik. So if I did have to talk about anything, that was it. If anything else I had to contribute to that very briefly, like take Waylon Jones, the Killer Croc, which has also had weird ass romances, but at least, you know, he was a human originally. He was born a human with a skin disorder, and then it just rapidly got worse and worse over time to the point that he was literally a crocodile now. But yeah, at some point he was human. And then there's, of course, the like Beast World comic books where it's an entirely different scenario, where I think there's either beast versions of each of the heroes, or they got transformed into beasts or something. I don't know. I don't know how that comic series works. But yeah, there's different interpretations going on there. And yeah, I don't know much more to go off of that. But I just thought it was weird. And that the episode was just sucky and cringe. Especially thanks to that YouTuber crap. Like, what felt like YouTuber or streamer crap is just like, oh. There is... person near me. Okay, I'm gonna go this way since they're going that way. Okay. Alright, yeah, that was my least favorite episode. They end with General Zod and Brainiac being the main villains. I'm guessing that's what they're hinting at the end, because one of them says they will kneel. And I'm like, oh, that's the classic Zod line. And then the other one had the symbol that Brainiac's usually represented with, where it's the 3 dots kind of in a triangular, upside down triangular form. And I was like, is that supposed to be cool? But I do question, why is Zod kind of hunched over the way he is designed and such? Is he a robot, or is he a guy in a suit? If he's a guy in a suit, wouldn't he be Kryptonian and be like the same body structure as Clark? Like, what the frick's going on there? But yeah, I really enjoyed the series. I can't wait to see what they have next. And look, every series is probably going to have a weak episode and a strong episode. That's what a lot of series have over the time. So it was interesting. If I had one more criticism, I would say that they did have other villains like Livewire and such. They had this like sister and brother or whatever like characters, or like I can't remember. It's just like these family member characters that wanted to help each other out, that all team up together to fight Superman by the end and such. Deathstroke's pretty cool. Very anime as hell. But like I felt like because they were using kryptonite gadgets and stuff and robots and all that, it felt fairly generic, the rest of the villains. They didn't have enough development and personality and such to give to them. And I do think the old 1996 series somehow does have better character development, weirdly enough. And it's not badly animated. There are cool battles. And the characters stand out and are more colorful and interesting in that series, and actually have backstories and such, and character make them personality traits and so on. Where this one, I didn't feel that, as well as they didn't have enough time to develop the characters, and they were just kind of very similarly designed Kryptonian armor. I don't know, it just was kind of boring. I'm not a big Livewire fan either. She's always been interesting in the 1996 series, and I did like her design more there. She popped out and was more interestingly designed. And of course, it's Livewire's look. But I knew it was Livewire. I could tell it was Livewire. I just wasn't as thrilled about the design choice and such. But whatever. That's just me. These are just my opinions. Take them with a grain of salt. And yeah, I still really thought overall it was a positive, great experience, and that I hope you also had a really good experience with the series so far. But yeah, more from that. Of everything I said here and such. Time, and you have a awesome day. I hate this shotgun. Do I even want to take that? Yeah, whatever. But you have an awesome day or night, depending on where you are in the world, as I say. That's now become a thing that I say now. So I might as well make it kind of a thing. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye, and you have that awesome day.